Okay, so we closed right at 240 yesterday. There's a small downtick on the open, which was immediately gobbled up. And we didn't really do much the rest of the day, a little bit above or below 240. So move above 240.50. We want to be long with a tight stop. Confirmation would be, a close obviously higher than that, somewhere above 240.80 or 241. Played that for a couple of days for another leg. On the IWM, which I shorted yesterday, right where it is in the pre-market, it had a nice downtick from here. So I guess I marked it. I shorted it right there where I guess we discussed this in the morning meeting. It failed there. It came off like a half a buck. I covered 60% of it or something. It's went right back up there. My stop's above 137.70, so I didn't get stopped out of the rest. And that is kind of where we are. It's the same deal on this in terms of it's still the weaker one. Down, consolidation, break. We are kind of above the support from where it broke down here. So if it breaks to the upside, then we would look for it to move to the top of this range, 139. All right, here we go. INTU. So INTU, my first impression is the numbers weren't as good as the reaction. So keep that in mind if it actually starts selling off in terms of how much it can pull in. So the breakout is from 128. Let's see, it got to 128. It dropped $13, broke out from 128. Now it's $12 above that. So if this thing starts getting to the downside, it gets below, let's say, 138. We look for a pretty deep pull in. Here is the 5-minute. So initial reaction was to 38. It's gapping above 140 this morning. So this can play out two ways, one of two ways, right? And so we saw yesterday with some things that are gapping up a lot. Kind of both scenarios are more aggressive selling. So Momo really got crushed. But basically, when something's above all resistance levels, it's at all-time highs, there's no natural sellers. And so the momentum players can try to push. A lot of times that gets you a high right on the open, which is what we saw in take two. And then it came off by $4 before stabilizing. So we could look for that. The other scenario is if the numbers aren't that great and it's gapping up a lot and you start to get selling, if it doesn't support here at the after-hour support, you can get a continued downside move, get something deeper down to here. So it normally trades 1.7 million shares. It's going to trade probably 5 million plus shares today. My initial thought is to just trade it off of 140. I think I put 140 as, did I put 140 as an inflection? No, I did not. Use 140 as an inflection initially, right on the open. It goes below and then gets back above it. See how high it can go. Starts to hold below, look for the move into this 138, and then see if it supports there. Starts to hold below 138 and really dropping out. Again, what Momo did yesterday, that sort of move is possible. This one. The second one is DY, which you can make the argument it could have been the first one we discussed, but it only trades 500,000 shares normally, so it could be pretty crazy. I'm looking on the daily. I see it traded 3.5 million shares one time. Their earnings warning was horrendous. In that scenario, looking to short the pop is kind of one of my favorite trades. In this case, it got down to the 88.50 almost, which is longer-term support, and it's almost back up to 92 where it sold off from the pre-market. So a failure at 92 here, you could be looking for a move back down to that 88.50. Below 88.50, there's really nothing. It's got to take at 88 for $4 or $5. So then also it can bounce. But even if you're looking to short here, right on the open, it could do one of these quick spikes and then gets back below 92. You could short it at that spot there. You trade it into 90, and you see if it comes into the next support area. But just I don't know what they're saying in the conference call, but the level that they guided down was really, really bad. GLYC, which some of the guys have been trading on the desk for the last week, they had a really nice pricing of their secondary. That's most likely why it traded up all day yesterday. What happens is calls go out to institutions and they say, are you interested in the secondary? We're thinking about pricing it here. And they probably were calling people in the morning when it was down below 11 saying, we were thinking pricing between 11 and 12. It ended up pricing 11.50, I think. So you can see that initial move to 12 because people knew as they were getting phone calls that it probably was going to be priced in this range. They weren't motivated to buy it above there, but you can see as it got later in the day, and probably more people found out that the pricing was going to be really good, getting much higher than where it had been the day before, down here at 10, they felt comfortable buying it. And so they bid it up to 14, they gapped it higher. Now it's, it was a sale up here at 15. It's way above the secondary price, just here. So it's a little bit of a guessing game now. I certainly think people would be interested in selling here, and maybe they'd be interested in starting to buy here at 13. But understand, the secondary is all the way down here. So if it got below 13 and started to hold, you could continue to kind of trade it down for a closer move to the secondary price. The next one is ALNY. At this point, they announced they're going to do a secondary, and that's smart because the stock has just bid up from $55 to $75. So natural place for people to start buying it and where they would price it is probably somewhere between 70 and 71.5. So if it pops back up on the open, you want to short it at 72.80. That looks like a good spot there for a move down to the support from a few days ago. T2, TTWO. I referenced that earlier. Just they bid it up like crazy on the open. It did get out of hand. I was a little nervous myself there when I was shorted from the 75 to 76 area. It quickly reversed, got down below 75, had a second leg down to kind of the pre-market support area. Tried it on the long here. I think I was stopped out before I had to jump off the desk, and then it bounced a couple of bucks. Came down here again, tested this area, and then it was basically the rest of the day kind of was accumulated around 72 or a little bit lower after tried to roll over here. But this is the, over the next 2.5 hours here, 1, 2, tight accumulation at the level. So there's clearly people interested in buying it down here. But this morning it was bid up a little bit. It's back at 74. So as long as it's above 72, from a bigger picture perspective, the buyers are in control. Momo, which they really crushed on the open. It did put in the low on the open, and after popping a couple of dollars, came in and made a higher low at 40. This is a pretty classic reversal pattern. Then it consolidated, but instead of breaking to the upside and finishing at 44 to 45, it actually broke down on the consolidation, then made another higher low. So it's tricky. I mean, basically the way I look at this now is it's 40 by 42. If it gets above 42 and consolidates, I'd look for the break back up to this area here. If it fails here, then I'll continue to watch for pull-ins to 40, 50 down to $40. And then finally, Toll Brothers, which despite having solid numbers, got sold on the open, tried to bounce, and then eventually broke down below the morning low after this tight consolidation between 38.10 and 38.40, and came into longer-term support at 37.50. So I've watched this one today. 37.50 is an interesting level. Maybe it flushes through there, gets back above, and you can play it for a move back inside of yesterday's range. So quick meeting. I actually got to hop on another call. As always, be patient and good luck.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.